An empire that stretched across 11 time zones. A superpower locked in a global rivalry. Yet, in just a few years, it collapsed from within. This is the story of how the Soviet Union, one of the most powerful nations in history, came to an end. In the 1980s, the Soviet Union looked strong from the outside, boasted a huge military, vast lands, and global influence. But inside, the pressure was rising. The economy was struggling under the weight of a massive arms race and a centrally planned system that just wasn't working anymore. Factories were outdated, and shelves in stores were often empty. For ordinary people, everyday life became a challenge, a constant struggle to find basic goods. Hope was starting to fade. The foundations of this mighty superpower were quietly cracking. Then, in 1985, a new leader arrived on the scene, Mikhail Gorbachev. He was different. He was younger, more energetic, and he promised reforms. His two main ideas were groundbreaking for the time. The first was perestroika, which meant economic restructuring. The goal was to modernize the Soviet economy, introduce elements of free markets, and make industries more efficient. The second was glasnost, which meant more openness and freedom of information. For the first time in decades, newspapers started to report on real issues, and people could openly discuss politics without fear. These reforms were meant to save the Soviet system, to make it stronger. Gave people a voice, but they also opened a Pandora's box, exposing long-hidden problems and unleashing forces that no one could control. As people gained the freedom to speak and protest, a powerful new movement began to swell. Many of the Soviet republics, which had been bound together under Moscow's tight control, began asking for more independence. Places like Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, the Baltic states, were the first to push for sovereignty. Soon they were followed by others, like Georgia, Armenia, and Ukraine. Each republic had its own unique history, language, and culture, and they now demanded the right to choose their own future. The Soviet Union, once a monolith held together by force and ideology, was now slowly but surely coming apart at the seams. What started as small cracks were turning into massive fractures. The situation reached a boiling point in August of 1991. A group of hardline communist officials, alarmed by the direction the country was heading, decided to take matters into their own hands. They launched a coup, placing Gorbachev under house arrest and attempting to seize control of the government in a desperate bid to save the old system. They wanted to turn back the clock, but they underestimated the will of the people. Thousands of citizens poured into the streets of Moscow and other cities, peacefully resisting the takeover. Led by figures like Boris Yeltsin, they stood their ground, and the coup collapsed within days. This dramatic moment was broadcast all over the world. It was a clear signal that the Soviet era was truly ending. The old guard had lost its power, and the people had won. After the failed coup, the collapse accelerated rapidly. One republic after another declared its full independence. The central government in Moscow was powerless to stop it. By the end of the year, the Soviet Union existed in name only. Finally, on December 25, 1991, in a quiet, solemn ceremony, the red Soviet flag with its hammer and sickle was lowered from the Kremlin for the very last time. A nation that had existed for nearly 70 years, shaping the course of the 20th century, was gone. In its place, 15 new independent countries were born, each ready to chart its own course in a new world. The fall of the Soviet Union wasn't a sudden explosion. It was a slow unraveling, driven by decades of political pressure, deep economic problems, and the powerful, unstoppable desire of people for freedom and self-determination. Serves as a powerful reminder that even the greatest powers are not permanent, and that history can be changed when the voices of millions rise together. Thank you for watching. If you found this story interesting, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.